The sound wasn't thunder. It was my bridge begging me to stop them. I always thought peace had a sound. The soft splash of trout in the creek below, the wind brushing through the pine trees, the slow creak of my wooden bridge. For 15 years, that little bridge carried nothing heavier than my pickup and the laughter of neighborhood kids. Its boards knew every footprint, every story, every quiet moment of reflection I ever had here. Then one morning, a grinding roar shook the ground beneath me. The deep growl of a cement truck rolling toward my bridge, and behind the wheel, smirking like she owned the world, HOA President Karen. By the time I stepped outside, the bridge trembled beneath the approaching weight. Mud swirled in the creek below. My blood boiled. I told her she was trespassing. She smiled. Then maybe you should build a stronger bridge, Mike. It wasn't just concrete, it was control. She wanted to bulldoze boundaries like she bulldozed sense, decency, and patience. My little bridge, built with sweat and memory, suddenly felt fragile under her arrogance. That afternoon, I ran to check the bridge's structure. Every joist, every carriage bolt, every plank, the bridge hummed with life. It didn't doubt me. Only people refused to understand it. I knew I had a battle coming, but I also knew this bridge had carried me through tougher storms. And for the first time, I realized that some boundaries weren't just lines on paper. They were warnings, etched in wood, tested by weight, waiting for someone to finally take notice. The creek behind my cabin didn't care about HOA rules or letters, and neither did I. It just flowed, stubborn and patient. But Karen did. She formed her board like ivy, polite at first, then choking everything in sight. The first warning letter arrived in my mailbox. Front setbacks must remain clear of non-compliant structures. Attached was a photo of my canoe rack 20 feet inside my property line. I responded politely, survey in hand, showing the boundary. The bridge and the approach were private. She replied with a smiley face. Let's discuss this at the next board meeting. At the meeting, Karen spread a laminated map across the table. No topography, wrong scale, creek drawn like a cartoon snake. She tapped it with her pen, declaring the bridge an HOA amenity. I held up my county-stamped survey. The west bank of the creek lay entirely within my land. The county easement stopped 50 feet up the gravel lane. The bridge was mine. Neighbors shifted uneasily, but Karen kept smiling, toddler-like, confident her clipboard carried power. We'll take this under advisement, she said. Construction continues. 2 weeks later, the first cement truck rumbled across my bridge. Mud splashed, boards groaned. I'd warned her. My cedar post and chain were cut, signs replaced with non-compliance notices. She thought she could intimidate me, but every boot print, every sheared padlock, every photo, all evidence. Miguel, my friend and partner in bridge building, brought coffee and a raised eyebrow. They're bold, he said. They're bored, I replied. Bold deserves statues. Bored deserves mistakes. And that's when I decided I wouldn't argue anymore. I'd document. Gravity doesn't need votes, and physics doesn't negotiate. The next morning, the diesel growl of a cement truck announced Karen's arrival. She strutted beside the vehicle, clipboard in hand, red windbreaker flapping like a flag of entitlement. I watched from the porch, calm, coffee in hand, as the bridge hummed beneath my truck, solid, patient, unyielding. Miguel and I had prepared. I'd replaced the midspan reinforcement with shear pins designed to bend only under excessive weight. Physics would speak louder than emails or letters. The truck rolled onto the bridge. Boards flexed, cables sang, then the pins snapped with a metallic whisper. The cab lurched. Cement sloshed over the edge, spilling onto the creek, silver in the sun. Karen screamed. Rage, disbelief, and panic all in one high-pitched note. Neighbors gathered, some horrified, some laughing quietly. A police officer arrived, clipboard ready. I showed him the posted 5-ton limit, the logs, the cameras. Private property, he said. Karen's jaw fell open. The trucks had ignored clear warnings, and now the law backed me. Later, the video exploded online. HOA President's cement truck sinks on homeowner's bridge. Instant karma. The thumbnail was perfect. Karen mid-scream, clipboard floating, cement dripping. Memes proliferated. Social media had crowned a new folk hero, a homeowner and his bridge. Karen filed lawsuits, sent mass emails, deployed drones, but every move I documented, the bridge held, and so did truth. Physics, documentation, and patience were allies stronger than arrogance. If you're enjoying this story, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. The courthouse smelled of old paper and tension as Karen arrived in a red blazer, binder clutched like a shield. Reporters lined the hallway, cameras pointed, neighbors whispering. Lisa leaned toward me. Let her talk herself into the hole. I nodded. Every HOA meeting had been a rehearsal for this day. Karen's lawyer launched into his speech, words polished but hollow. Negligence, reckless endangerment, intentional sabotage. He clicked to the infamous photo, cement truck tilting, Karen mid-scream. The courtroom gasped. Lisa calmly countered, the bridge is private property with posted weight limits ignored by HOA vehicles. My client has documented trespass, loads, and warnings. The bridge held, proving no recklessness on his part. The judge examined deeds, surveys, and our video evidence. Karen's face drained of color. Every argument she had crumbled like wet cement. The room buzzed as whispers of private property and well-documented spread. When the verdict came, dismissal of her claims, relief swept through the courtroom. Justice, patience, and preparation had carried the day. Outside, reporters scrambled, cameras flashing. Social media erupted anew. HOA president defeated by homeowners bridge. Karen muttered about appeals, but the momentum had shifted. Half the board resigned quietly, the community realigned, and a quiet sense of victory settled like the creek beneath the bridge. That night, I sat on the porch, the boards glowing silver under the moonlight. Miguel laughed, handing me a cold drink. Momentum's on your side now. I smiled. Gravity had always been loyal, but truth, patience, and documentation were unstoppable. If you enjoyed this story, like, comment, and subscribe. Share it with friends and tell us where you're watching from. Every story deserves an audience, and the Bridges lesson is one everyone should hear.